The culture in a particular classroom is heavily dependent on not only the teacher's style, but also the discipline, the level, the students that are present, and anything else that's going on in the environment. But typically, a teacher will have a particular teaching style and personality style that will heavily inform the class culture. The tutor and the teacher want to make sure that they work together to infuse the culture with positivity, with a welcoming atmosphere so that students feel comfortable asking questions, asking the tutor for help. And you want to work together to make sure that it's a comfortable culture between the two of you. Some of the things that can go into making a class culture difficult are when the tutor and the faculty member aren't on the same page in terms of behaviors that are expected or not preferred. Even things like bringing in a beverage or food into the class, the tutor being on their laptop during class time rather than pretending to be attentive as the students are, even though, of course, it's material that the tutor's already very well acquainted with. Um, just respecting the culture of the classroom as a place that exists so that students feel welcome and have the possibility of achieving their full potential. And that's something that you can feel, it's kind of nuanced, but also something that you can communicate regularly about in terms of all the things that go into that. There may be classes with one or two very challenging students, and that will definitely impact the culture. So that's something you want the faculty member and tutor want to work together in terms of addressing. For instance, if a student that's very demanding is taking most of the tutor's time, the faculty member and instructor can work together to limit the amount of time that the tutor spends with that student so that all the students can be served. Or if there's behavior issues talking, the tutor might want to sit at that table instead of their usual spot and just monitor and make sure that the students are focused and paying attention. So there's all kinds of ways that the class culture is important, but also that it can be modified and manipulated in the service of student success. We're going to hear from Elisabeth Greer and Jerome Cusson, two professors at Harold Washington, who are going to speak more about their experiences both as professors who use tutors and also as a faculty tutor pair. As Elizabeth was the professor and Jerome was a tutor before he became.
Yeah, so I think frequent meetings with the tutor is the most important thing in order to establish unity. Because, first of all, for me, it's really important for us to be a unified front, right, in the educational journey. And it's understandable that not everyone has the same style, but since I'm running the classroom, I just want the tutor to understand how I approach things and the kinds of things that I need help with. So, for example, regardless of the level of the class, I it's important for me to have a tutor help during small groups, right? So I rotate around a group, and then to have the tutor also cover a group, and to make sure that people are staying on task and not being distracted, and you have someone else that they can come to for questions. Same thing for rough draft workshops. Same thing for the times when the tutor can chip in, in terms of his or her expertise. So what I will do as an instructor is just say something like, oh, Jerome, do you have anything else that you want to add? And so then that way we can tap into the tutor's expertise on a subject, whatever it is, on a grammar topic or on, a construction, of an essay topic, and he or she can present the information in a way that's different and that uses a different voice and a different way of explaining it that may click with somebody better than the way I explained it. So we're just sort of working as a team. But I always allow space. So for me, it's always like allowing space. Like, oh, would you feel comfortable? It's like a conversation before. Would you feel comfortable? I asked you at times to chip in and share your information and your knowledge. And then I've never had a tutor say, no, I don't want to talk in class. So,
Yeah, you would hope not.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Elizabeth and I are very aligned just in terms of our philosophies, so I don't think it was as much of a challenge for us. I have worked with teachers in the past who I did not jive with as well in terms of philosophy, but I think even in those situations, trying to understand where they are coming from and still trying to put on the united front, I think is really important, because even if I have disagreements, the most important thing is that they are getting a consistent message from the two of us in terms of this is what the assignment is, this is what the teacher wants. And if we differ on like how to write a thesis statement, then for the purposes of that class, my job is to say this is what the professor wants, so this is what we have to work together towards. So I think just maintaining that consistency, I think, is really important. And I think it really benefits the tutor to just understand what their role is as, I don't want to, I guess subordinate's the word, because that's what they are, but like they are part of the conversation, but the teacher is ultimately the one that has the final say on everything. And just understanding the responsibilities that come with that, I think, is.
Classroom culture is something you can really make work for you and for the students. So talk early, talk often, and keep working on it throughout the